All right, so slice of life games aren't really my thing, but when I was talking about this topic earlier, I kind of came to the realization that there's not enough games out there that do little slice of life mundane things properly, or they put it so much into the wayside, they put it so much to the side that it almost seems like it's an afterthought if they don't exclude it completely. And I am noticing a lot of starter devs do that.
Yeah.
You know, and what am I meaning by that? I'm talking about little things as innocuous as getting breakfast, or reading your mail, or email, because I think paper mail was outlawed back around 2014, and it's all electronic now. So that, unless it's bills, then it's completely legal. But little things like that. Calling your mom, or calling a loved one or a family member. Not enough games do that. And I think what I'd like to discuss is how it can be done without detracting from the game. Because even if it's a fantasy game, there can be something that your character can do, or that the characters that you're controlling can do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big differentiation for this conversation. I'm not talking about NPCs. Okay, NPCs can have their schedules where they wake up, have breakfast, go to the bathroom, work at their job, clank, clank, clank at a forge, or type at a computer, and then they go home and go to bed. That's fine. But what about the PCs? Is saving the world so important that you can't go to the bathroom after having a Big Mac? That did not come out right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very specific.
Extremely specific.
I was thinking more along the lines of, is saving the world more important? So important that you can't wash your dishes for the night before, or make your bed, or take out the trash.
Yeah. I would love to see a sequence, FYI, where Grandma says, "Is saving the world so important?" Hold on. "Saving the world's not so important that you can't finish your breakfast," or something like that, and like puts them eggs and bacon in front of you and be like, "Eat, bitch." Seriously though, but that's the thing, is we take for granted these little activities that we do on a day-by-day basis, and we don't insert them at all into our game stories. I'm not saying you have to have every single character, every single moment do mundane things, you don't want to have...
Because that's a distraction at that point.
Exactly. But you need to have something. Something. In my opinion, it adds so much to the game, which is the reason we're having it as a forum topic. Because I want to feel, again, and we've talked about this before, the connection between the player and your game has to be on an emotional level. There has to be a, why do I care about this game? Why should I care about this game? Well, it's hard to care about a statistic. It's easier to care about a person. So if the character that you're playing does something that you can relate to, those everyman quirks that we always talk about when we give our list of 3 things, the more everyman quirks your character has, the more the player can relate, the more they're going to want to see what's going on.
Right. And so, as SP points out in the Incredibles movie, you got Frozone. Okay. He's got to come out of retirement, save the world. Okay. Well, he's busy rummaging through his closet going, "Where's my super suit?"
Yeah, he actually gets into an argument with his wife. Yeah.
Gets into an argument with his wife. Yeah. "Where's my super suit?"
Yeah, her name literally being Honey, of course. And he gets into an argument, and the line that actually she gives encapsulates his marriage to her, where he's like, "Where's my super suit, woman? We're talking about the greater good." And her response is, "I am your wife. I am the greatest kind of good you're ever gonna get." And while we have a laugh at that, especially since it's Samuel L. Jackson playing Frozone, it actually gives us an amazing connection to him.
Yeah, it does.
This is a character who at one point was one of the top-rated superheroes, especially since he used to run with Mr. Incredible.
Right.
And now he's in a situation where he can't even get his job done as a hero, now that they need him again, because his wife, whom he loves with all of his heart, is stopping him. Now, here's the thing. If we didn't have the context of the Incredible story, we might think that Honey's just being a bitch. But look at the context. Superheroes were outlawed because of all the BS with, I'm not asking to be saved, okay?
Right.
Syndrome is murdering superheroes. Even if you didn't know it was Syndrome, superheroes are dying. Gazer Beam and others are coming up dead.
Yeah.
So this is actually a shit situation. And it is very possible, and I think very probable, that Honey's reaction to Frozone is just because she loves him. And
I always got the feeling that she purposely hid his suit so that he wouldn't go out and get himself hurt or killed.
Exactly. If you love someone that deeply, you may do something that's going to piss them off because they can't think clearly in the moment. And I've always thought that of Honey. Now, they turned it into a trope. They turned it into a joke. It's ha 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 because, it's hilarious. But I've always felt that add a lot of depth to the character. And she has 3-4 lines. That's it. And
that's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So
slice of life. But BG points out the other side of the coin when it's not done well. They've encountered slice of life games where you just kind of hop around doing thing to thing with no plan. And even worse, if it's pointed out to the dev defends it saying, "Oh, but it's slice of life."
Right.
No, slice of life is not running around doing just errands and getting distracted by all that. That's just not. No, that's not slice of life.
We actually have a new series that we're starting. There's part of our YouTube shorts, and it's called Good Hook, Bad Hook. It's sort of a play on the whole good idea, bad idea from Animaniacs. And we actually go over that exact thing that BG's talking about. A bad hook is a character going through errands. Wake up, go to the store, get some milk, pet the cat, go over here, talk to the mayor. Doesn't actually go anywhere, just talking to the mayor. Then go over to the playground and break up a fight between two kids. There's nothing wrong with slice of life. You need it, but you don't use that as an excuse to have a aimless, shiftless opening.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, Frost brings up a good concept here. He says, I love slice of life stuff in games. It really helps flesh out the characters. And I agree.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, Frost. When it's done right. Yes. Slice of life really gives you that character connection. These are real people doing real things that you and I could do.
Exactly.
Taking out the trash.
Exactly.
Writing out a grocery list. Feeding the dog.
100%. But what you don't want to do is have the slice of life in the foreground so much that it looks like that's your core gameplay loop. And I think that's where the differentiation needs to be made.
Yeah.
We talked in an earlier video about hooks and how important it is to hook. You got that 5 minutes, first 5 minutes, that's it, that's all you get. Putting your slice of life may not be a good idea during those first 5 minutes when you're hooking. It's okay if it's part of the everyman quirk, but it shouldn't be the focus, because during those first 5 minutes, not only are you hooking your player, but you're also introducing them to your core gameplay loop. And if your first 5 minutes, if that time is spent looking at slice of life stuff, they're going to think that's the core gameplay loop. And beyond that, if you're past the first 5 minutes, if you've already hooked your player, and the next 2 hours is just running errands, then the player's going to think, holy shit, we had this great opening, but the core gameplay loop is doing errands for mom. And then they're not going to want to play it. If a person wants to play a slice of life game, they're going to download and play a slice of life game. If you want to have your game be like Stardew Valley, then have it be like Stardew Valley. If you want it to be like Animal Crossing, have it be like Animal Crossing. But don't try to make your epic RPG or space adventure or whatever be so slice of lifey in the opening, so slice of lifey in the front layer of the game, the core gameplay loop, that the player's like, wait a minute, so this is the game? Because they probably didn't sign up for that.
Right.
Yeah. And it's good to see you, Tron.
Hello, Tron.
So yeah,
Independence Day is a movie and not necessarily a good video game, but you have the action of the movie. It starts off and you got a good hook, and it goes, and then when it introduces Will Smith's character, all of a sudden it's slice of life.
Right.
He's in bed. He wakes up, goes to the kitchen, pours himself some coffee. His little boy is playing some kind of pow game.
Right.
And it takes it, you follow him all the way out to the outside, and he's unaware with all the neighbors. You see in the background, you see all the neighbors scrambling. You see all this going on, and he's like totally unaware. He picks his newspaper, and then finally he looks up and sees the spaceship.
Yes. They even have a moment where he's in the bathroom having his morning pee, which every guy out there can relate to. Do not lie. And he looks out the side window of the bathroom and sees the neighbors leaving, and he makes a comment to his girlfriend. It's amazing, and it is super slice of life, and it lasts for a little over 60 seconds. It is just so quick.
Yeah.
But then you see, this is this normal dude.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Will Smith's character, even though it's Will Smith playing a character, Will Smith's character is this regular pilot. He's a guy who wanted to be in the U.S. aerospace program, never made it as an astronaut, just wants to be right for his girl and his girl's kid, who's his kid, you know.
Yeah.
The boy is basically his, even though he's not the biological father. That's his kid and his woman. And he's going to do right by them. And he just wants to do right. And he go outside, and he got his paper, and then fucking aliens welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a good insertion of slice of life, but it came after the hook.
Yes. Independence Day does start with the freaking moon landing getting nuked by the gravity well of the mothership. Absolutely fantastic opening, by the way. The movie's opening is really good. But yeah, make your game like that. So introduce your slice of life as a way of just bringing a character and showing maybe their mundanity being utterly annihilated. That's a fantastic way of using slice of life. You know? And the Kuda Dude is correct. Life isn't just doing errands. So why would you make slice of life?
No, it's not.
Yeah. You wouldn't. It's just a good thing to pick on when you're showing what not to do.
Yeah.
You know, slice of life is it. Let's see. Slice of life is waking up. Slice of life is talking to someone you care about. Phone or email or U.S. mail or postage.
Cooking your dinner or eating your breakfast.
Going for a walk. You know, going on a walk and talking to the person who has been outside in the park at that morning feeding the birds every day for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
And acknowledging that person has been there for the last 25 years and feeds the birds at exactly 8:30 a.m. every morning without fail, because that establishes a mundanity, a routine. And I think that is it.
Yeah.
If you can use slice of life to establish normalcy, that your storyline is destroying, you know, old status quo is destroyed and becomes new status quo, then you can really use slice of life effectively. So use it to humanize, but also use it to show how the normalization, the normal life, the old status quo is being overwritten. In fact, here's a strong parallel. Steele's brain's going 1,000 miles a second right now. Start the game with a slice of life moment. We'll call it the person feeding the birds, right? 8:30 in the morning, feeds the birds every day, past 25 years. Old status quo. Bullshit happens. Plot happens. Game happens. And then, new status quo at the end of the game. Person's not there anymore. They're dead. Your character, or the protagonist, goes out there at 8:30 and feeds the birds. There you go. That is a slice of life that has accented and created a stronger connection between you and the player.
Yeah.
Your game in the
way to go, Steele. That was a pretty good example. Yeah.
Cool. I really would like to see more slice of life done properly in the games that we analyze, whether it be on Komodo or our own streams or stuff that shows up in our Discord, because I like to sympathize and empathize with characters. I like to feel connected to them. And oftentimes I don't. I feel that I'm playing a hero, and a hero is above normalcy. They're above. They have to rise above. And I want to feel like that person's at my level so that I can feel like I could be them if the situation was so. Yeah. All right. Well, if you like what you saw, lay the smack down the like button below, subscribe to our channel, consider supporting us on Patreon, connect with us over Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and we will see you in the next video.
See you next time.